Good morning, hello. I'm gonna wait for you guys to come on, but today is all about utilizing the power of the earth to ground or to earth yourself. So it's grounding, otherwise known as earthing. And it is one of the most profound health hacks that I've ever found. Hi everybody, yay! I'm so glad you guys are all coming on. I'm sitting outside, so I'm going to be a little sniffly, so just pardon me. I'm outside in the elements today. Hello, everybody. Cowgirl 68. You guys, I am loving seeing you guys here every Sunday. It means so much to me. So from the bottom of my heart, with all of my gratitude, I really appreciate you. I see you. And thank you guys so much. So it is Sunday, it's 11 o'clock. This is when I do my spiel every Sunday. And normally, not normally, but I think I try to pull you guys in with the skincare because that's the fun stuff, right? Working on the outsides and making sure that we're looking and feeling our best and we're staving off those wrinkles and we're, fighting to increase collagen and all of that stuff. But I have to say, none of that shit works if you're not healthy from the inside. And so I want to talk to you guys today about, it's one of the most profound health hacks that I've found. I've been doing it now strategically and consciously for the last 10 years. And it's called grounding. Oh my gosh, Romanian Girl 10, you won. You won! Okay, so the winner from last week, let me just, and I am Skin Care Girl. I was pulling for you too, but Romanian Girl 10 won, and what she won was, it was by, oh my gosh, if I can think of the name of the brand, Banish. The name of the brand was Banish, and it was the Vitamin C Dark Spot Serum Remover, along with the microneedling stamp and the tinted sunscreen. Romanian Girl 10, you have won that. Yes, I know. She says, what? No way. I'm so excited. Thank you. I'm so excited for you because you've been one of the ones that from the beginning, I see you here every Sunday. I see a lot of you guys here every Sunday. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. If you want to be in this week's drawing, and this week's drawing, I kind of want to save it as a surprise. Let me get through my spiel first, and I'll tell you what this week's drawing is going to be. And I have to actually go and purchase this for you and send it to you because I don't have a company that has sent this to me, but this is how passionate I am about this topic. This is no joke. If you stick with me through this live, this is going to change your life. It's going to decrease your inflammation. It's going to help you lose weight. It's going to stave off all of the inflammation-related, age-related diseases, which are all of them. So cancer, arthritis, any of the diverticulitis, like all of these types of diseases are based because of the inflammation accumulation in our bodies. What we're going to do today is I'm going to give you a secret. It's not a secret, but there's not enough people doing it. And it's to utilize the negative electricity in the earth to fight those free radicals. And I'm going to tell you right now, for those of you who think that you can eat a bunch of blueberries and take a bunch of turmeric pills and do the same thing that I'm doing right now by sitting in the grass barefoot, you're kidding yourself because you can't. We are made, it's okay. I'm going to try to explain this. If you have access right now, I would love it. For those of you who are on here, if you have access to get outside and take shoes off, if it's not too cold outside, and sit in the grass, or you can sit on a chair and put your feet in the grass, feet in the dirt, feet in the sand, in the ocean. If you have access to bring your phone with you right now and go do that, by the end of this, you're going to feel what I'm talking about. Okay, so I can sit here and talk to you for the next hour, but unless, there's too much snow there. Okay, so this is so then you know what? I'm going to tell you what the what the prize is, what the giveaway is this time. And I'm going to have to purchase it for you guys. But the giveaway this time is a grounding mat. So even though if you live in the snow, there are ways to ground to the earth where you don't have to go outside. Good morning, Gina. So good to see you. Gina, we're talking about grounding. You know how passionate I am about this subject. It has literally changed my life, I think, because I can feel when I'm outside in the grass, and I try to do this for 30 minutes a day with a cup of tea. I try to do this 30 minutes a day, and you can feel the effects. You can feel your blood pressure drop in a good way. You can feel the anxiety dissipate. It helps with depression. It helps with any disease related to inflammation, and inflammation is the root cause of all diseases. So, but what I'm going to give away this time, and excuse me for having to, oh my gosh, where's my tissue? Excuse me for having to oh, here it is. I'm outside and it's a little bit windy out here and it's a little bit cold, but that's why I've got this vest on, but I am barefoot in the grass and I'm doing some natural healing right now, and that's what we're going to talk about. So the giveaway this time is a grounding mat, which I will be purchasing myself. I think the one that I'm going to give you guys is the one by Hookah, and that's in my Amazon store. Don't leave now, but afterwards. If you go to my linked tree on my profile, you'll see, you can click on my Amazon store front, and I think it's under the health section of my Amazon store, you'll see the grounding mat that I'm going to give away. So I think it runs about $40. So that's what the prize is. I'm telling you, it's life-changing. So the one that I have at home, my husband now plugs into the third hole of an outlet. So every outlet is grounded to the earth. That's why, lightning doesn't strike your house. So if you have a 3-prong outlet and you put in the little connector to that third prong, and then it connects to a mat, and you are automatically ground to the earth. So for those of you who live in the snow, or it's too cold, or you work inside all day long, you can sit at your desk, put this mat on the floor, take your shoes off, put your feet on the mat, plug that mat into that third port, and you will be grounding the entire day as you're working. So I have one on the bed. They make them for the mattress. They make large ones, but it is such a profound health hack that it's literally going to blow your mind. You need to be consistent with it because we build up free radicals every single day. So let me try to just briefly explain what happens. So in the 1960s, we thought we were super smart. We came up with all of this synthetic material, right? And the first thing we did was make really cheap shoes, and we stuck rubber. Here's my UGG I just took off. We have rubber-soled shoes. So we can go this. If you touch this to the earth, you're not getting that transfer of electrons. You're not getting that, the free radicals being cleared from your body. You're just not. It's not conductive. So when in the 60s, when they came up with this synthetic material, all of a sudden we caused so much damage to ourselves as human beings, and we didn't even know we were doing it. It's cheap, it's on everything, and we can go years without actually touching the earth. But that's not how, as human beings, we are made. We are made of this earth, right? We grew up, or let's just say thousands and thousands of years ago, we ran around barefoot. So we have this connection with the earth. The earth is negatively charged. So way up there, 60 miles up, is positive charge. But here on the earth, usually transferred from lightning, the whole earth is negatively charged. Oh, that's a good, let me just check on this real quick, because to be in the drawing for the grounding mat, you need to hit that little arrow, the little send button right there. You don't have to leave here. It's really simple to do. You hit that little send button, invite 3 people. That's the first step for being in the drawing. And then once I post this to my site, which I'll usually do about 30 minutes afterwards, You tag 3 people there, and then you'll be in the drawing. So this week's winner was Romanian Girl 10, who won the microneedling stamper with the niacinamide vitamin C dark spot remover, and also the tinted sunscreen. So if you missed that live, make sure that was my ultimate skincare routine. So if you missed that, make sure that you go back on that live, and my whole, everything that I think is great for an ultimate skincare routine is on there. You can also direct message me and just say, give me your top skincare stuff, and I will give you the list of that. Or you can make a one-on-one consultation, and we really get into like, what are you utilizing on your skin? What are you doing in terms of these biohealth hacks that we're talking about today? And how can you look and feel your best at every age and every stage of life? And that's kind of what the whole healthy aging thing is. So not only are we attacking it from the outside with skincare and microneedling and tricking our skin into behaving like it did when it was in its 20s, but we also deal with the insides. How are we striving for optimal health? Because when you are optimally healthy, guess what? Your skin's better. It shines through your skin. You can tell because your skin is the largest organ of your body. So everything that you do, and if those of you who had a cocktail last night or a couple cocktails last night, you know what I'm talking about, right? When you look in the mirror this morning, you know what I'm talking about. You can tell if you've done something to your body, how is it showing up in your skin? Well, right now, we're doing something positive. So if you have the opportunity, if you can, because I know some people are in cold weather, get outside, take your shoes off. Because what happens is, like I said earlier, the earth is negatively charged, just the way it is. In the 60s, we came up with synthetic material that stopped us from utilizing the benefit of the earth. And so what we need to do is, it's simple. You get outside and take your shoes off. Sand, dirt, grass, ocean, water, part of the ocean, anything like that is going to help with the free radicals. So let me explain a little bit. When you have a damaged cell, so stay with me. Oh, Sophia just said, what a beautiful place to ground. I'm at my mom's house in Fresno. She lives in the middle of 20 acres of grapevines. I don't know if you can see. But that's where my mom lives. And then this is her house. And behind also is and there's grapevines on this side. Can you see it? So this is kind of my grounding spot when I'm at my mom's house. But I do have a grounding spot at home. And I'm there. I try to be there 30 minutes a day. But even 5 minutes, I can feel my stress level go down. I can feel my blood pressure drop. So if you haven't invited your 3 people, make sure that you invite them now. It's the little arrow right there. It doesn't take you off the site, so just invite your 3 people. Up for grabs this week is the grounding mat, I think by Hookah, because I'm going to purchase this for you. That's how passionate I am about this subject. I want you guys to really understand this. Almost every disease that we have, cancer, arthritis, all the microbiome situations that's happening, the diverticulitis, the Crohn's, everything has been on the uprise since the 60s, since we invented synthetic material. So we go years without actually touching the earth. So if the earth is negatively charged, what happens in our bodies when we have damaged cells is that our white blood cell goes and grabs that damaged cell, and in the process, it breaks apart electrons. So remember in the 8th grade science class, the protons, electrons, neutrons, what happens is the white blood cell breaks apart that, and you've got these free floating electrons. And those are basically the free radicals, right? So we could eat blueberries, we could take turmeric, we could like try to do everything that we can to get rid of the free radicals in our body. Nothing will do it like stepping onto the earth. So the bottom of our feet in particular, now sometimes I'll sit Indian style, so I'll have like, you know, the tops of my feet but I will eventually like sit like this, or I'll start walking around. And the bottom of our soles in particular, just like our hands, act as sponges. So if we've got free radicals in our body, what happens is the electrons from the earth slowly start filling those all up, dissipating all of those free radicals, because now we have these extra electrons. How insane is that? So I'm not really sure why it hasn't caught on, other than it seems too easy, because it is. It seems like a profound thing for something so simple, because it is. And yet when you go to the doctor, they're not saying, have you stepped outside lately? They're saying, let me give you this pill. Let me give you this pill. Nobody's doing a ton of research, although if you research grounding or earthing, a lot of stuff will come up. Scientists are getting super smart about this, because we're trying to figure out why are all of the health crises going up since the 60s? Diabetes, weight loss, inflammation. Guess what? If you're earthing, your inflammation is going down. So if you incorporate earthing as part of your daily routine, will you lose weight? You will. You will. Will chronic pain decrease? It will. This is all part of this. Will anxiety decrease? Yes. Depression? Yes. Inflammation is at the root of all of it. And you can tell when they do cortisol testing. So if you've ever had saliva tests for cortisol, what they have shown is that they'll take people in tennis shoes. Tennis shoes has been the downfall. I mean, we didn't know that we were doing it, right? In the 60s, we didn't know. We thought, oh, we're making this synthetic material. It's super cheap. Everybody gets to have shoes. But our health has plummeted since then. And it's because we have all of this built up of free radicals and no place to put it. And we think that we can get that through food or through meditation, and we can. But nothing works the same as getting the soles of your feet in the earth. There's electrons right now coming up through the earth into my body. I can tell a difference. And it seems like it's hippy-dippy and it's woo-woo and anything like that. Sophia just says, makes so much sense. I never heard of this until your content. Thanks for sharing. Yes. This is kind of, I'm literally almost going to cry. This is what really makes me excited. That makes me excited. Thanks, Sophia. Yeah, you just made my day. Okay. Woo. So yes, it is a profound health hack. And so I wish that there were more doctors telling patients to get outside. If you're depressed, get your feet in the grass. If you're just crippled with anxiety, get your feet in the grass. If you're overweight, get your feet in the grass. If you're hormonal, get your feet in the grass. All of it will help, just because of that transfer of electrons and the free radicals in our body. It's so simple. It's such a simple thing. Okay, I'm going to just scroll and see if we have any questions. You'll have to excuse my sniffling because it's a little bit chilly out here and it's a little bit windy, but I want to see what everybody is doing. If you haven't invited your 3 people, invite them now with that little arrow. Okay, oh, Cowgirl 6 love your tips, appreciate you. I appreciate you too. I really do. I appreciate all these people that I see every single week here. I'm telling you, I smile the whole rest of the Sunday because you guys really make my day. I've been looking into stamps and derma rollers for forever. I appreciate you so much. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna just touch on this while I'm grounding. Remember that derma rollers aren't the best thing to use. You want to make sure that you're using the stamps or the microneedling tool that Dr. M8 that I've done a live on as well. If you missed that live, make sure that once I get done here, check out those lives, because there's all the material is there. I could have not posted those, right? I could have just done like more of a subscription thing or whatever, but I want you guys to have the information. And I hope that what you gain from this channel is that you're learning something and you're starting to question things, right? How can I take my health into my own hands? Because I'm going to tell you right now, yes, doctors know what the hell they're doing, but they're only taught the latest stuff. And this kind of thing, we don't know what we've done to our health until our health is already in the toilet, right? We didn't know that by putting rubber-soled shoes that all of a sudden our inflammation and our free radicals was going to build up in our body. We didn't know until that's where we are. And so now I actually did a paper at USC about grounding and the effects on cortisol levels. And cortisol, as some of you guys may know, is it's the biomarker for stress and inflammation in your body. So there's a lot of studies now where they've grounded people on either the mats that I'm going to give away, one of the grounding mats that I'm going to give away, or they put the grounding mat on a mattress. And then they measured through saliva the cortisol levels. And sure enough, when you ground, your cortisol levels drop. So if cortisol is a biomarker for inflammation in your body, and inflammation is the root of all chronic disease. You're talking about cancer, there's inflammation involved. If you're talking about diverticulitis, Crohn's, there's inflammation involved. If you're talking about arthritis, it's all about inflammation. So if you are causing your inflammation to go down and your cortisol levels to drop because you're using the earth, then doesn't that stand to reason that all of those age-related diseases, heart disease, guess what? There's inflammation involved in heart disease. All of those age-related diseases decrease. So it's just mind-blowing that it's such a simple fix, but you will have profound effects. And I tend to get people when I work with people one-on-one, which I urge you guys all to at least make one appointment. If you're here every week, and you're learning something, you will not believe what I can do in 1 hour, one-on-one with you, to look at your skincare, to look at your lifestyle, to see what you're eating, what you're putting in your body, right? Because it starts there. It starts with feet in the ground, reducing your stress level. How are you moving in this world at your age? What kind of exercise are you doing? How limber are you? How is your joint mobility? And then also, how can we trick our skin into behaving like it's younger, right? So it's inside out, it's outside in. So for those of you that I see here every week, keep coming back. But I urge you, once we get off of this, when you go in that linked tree on my profile, you'll see a calendar link of one-on-one healthy aging coaching. I urge you guys to at least do one session, because you think that you're learning a lot every Sunday. Wait till I get you for 1 hour on your own. Yeah, and it's not like something. I wish I could say the goal is to keep you coming back like a therapist. No, the goal is to put you on a health trajectory so that when you're done working with me, you're already on that path. You're already slowly losing weight the healthy way, right? You're not like going on some crazy fad diet. Your skin is starting to behave again like it did when it was 20. You're doing these biohacks that not only increase your longevity, but increase that health span so that the number of years on the planet are getting more healthy, so that you're active and functioning right up until the end, as opposed to just increasing your lifespan and being sick and debilitated and all of that stuff. So it starts with the inside stuff. So yes, what you put in your body, but also you got to get the stress level down. And we made a big mistake by the rubber-soled shoes. And so if you think about even children these days, they wake up on a mattress above ground, nice bed, on carpeted floors. They get ready for school. They put on their tennis shoe, has a rubber-soled shoe. They go to the playground. Oftentimes they're on blacktops. They're not taking their shoes off at recess. If they have an after-school sport, they require shoes. Baseball, basketball, soccer, all of those require shoes. They come back home, take their shoes off. They're inside. We're not saying go play outside barefoot. They're inside, and we wonder why we've got, besides the junk food, yes, it's a combination of a lot of stuff, but we wonder why there's so many health issues with children. They're not growing up the same way that we did when we were younger. I mean, I grew up on a farm and I was outside barefoot, but there's not a lot of population that does that anymore. Even in third world countries, we're making synthetic products so cheaply that I think it's something like 97% of the population wear rubber-soled shoes on tennis shoes. That means that's it used to be 100% of us were out and we're grounding with the earth every day, and that's just not happening. So we're having this accumulation of free radicals that you cannot eat your way out of. You can make a dent in it. Wild blueberries, turmeric, all of those orange and yellow spices, fresh fruits and vegetables. You can make a dent in the free radicals in your body, but not like this. Not like getting your feet out in the sand, dirt, grass, ocean. It's very, very different. And that's how we were made as human beings. So if you've got a colicky child, let's just say, for example, you have a colicky child. I gave birth to 3 children myself. One of them, oh my gosh, I hope she's not on this live right now, but she was colicky for a year, never stopped crying. And I wish I would have known then what I know now, but I have heard of women who take their babies who are colicky and make sure that they're skin to skin, and the mother takes her shoes off and walks outside and lets that baby ground. Because if you're touching somebody, if I'm barefoot and I'm holding the hand or carrying my child and it's skin to skin, that child's grounding too. So if you've got a child that's super active, hyperactive, is having some sort of issues, problems sleeping, because grounding helps with all of those natural hormones in your body, all of the melatonin to regulate your biological clock. Get outside and get them to ground, because we're living in a way too sterile world at this point. So not only is it affecting our microbiome, and we're having all of this other problems with our microbiome, but the inflammation and all of those inflammation-related diseases, which I dare you to find one that doesn't have to do with inflammation. They're all about inflammation. So if we can decrease the inflammation in our body by simply putting our feet on the earth, our health span is going to dramatically increase. And not only that, but our mental health status. So our anxiety decreases, our depression decreases. We think more clearly. The brain fog lifts. Takes about 30 minutes, if you have it, for it to be able to go through your entire body, but you can feel it. That's why I'm hoping there are people on here that, like, if you've got the opportunity right now to just take your shoes off, get outside and walk around a little bit, you'll feel what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm just going to scroll here a little bit. I love grounding too. Nature and grounding make me feel so much better. Have you ever gone to the beach and then you sit at the beach and you've got your feet in the sand and you feel so good, and you feel so good afterwards, and you think it's because, I'm on vacation, and it's because the negative electrons have gone up through the sand and reduced all of the free radicals in your body and decreased inflammation. Your mood is automatically going to lift. Okay, so that was Romanian Girl 10. Oh, Romanian Girl 10, I'm so glad that you won that. I really am. I want to let you guys know, the way that the winner is picked has nothing to do with me. So somebody might possibly win 3 times in a row, but Romanian Girl 10, I don't think you've ever won anything before on this. But you could possibly, because it's all random. So when you tag your 3 people, after I post this and you tag your 3 people, and I send that little thing that says, congratulations, you're in the drawing. I try to look back through it right before I put it into the system to randomly choose the winner. But it's random. So it's randomly chooses, okay, who was on the live, who invited the 3 people, and then who tagged the 3 people, and then the winner is random. So, okay, I'm just gonna scroll. Does anybody have any questions? What a beautiful place to ground. Can you ground with cotton socks? That's an interesting question. I don't think so. No, I would go barefoot. I mean, why would you have a barrier? I mean, potentially because cotton is a natural material. Potentially, yes. But if you have the opportunity to take your shoes off, even if it could go through the cotton, it's not going to be the same as barefoot. So you want to be barefoot. And again, if you live in a place where it's very cold or it's snow, or you just don't have the opportunity to get out a lot, you need to get a grounding mat. So you can go on Amazon and get a grounding mat. You could also go on my Linktree after this and just click on my Amazon storefront. The one I'm going to give away for this week is, I believe it's by Hookah, and it's a mat that's about this big. Yeah, it's about this big. So I don't know how big that is, but it's about that big. It's perfect for, like, you plug it to your wall on the 3rd port, the little bottom hole, and stand on it or put your feet on it while you're working. So if you're at your desk for, let's say, 8 hours a day, you can be grounding that whole time. I'm just going to keep scrolling. They found even depression. Depression and high levels of inflammation decrease. It really does. And you guys, I mean, I know that you guys, once you guys get outside, if you've ever been at a park and you take your shoes off and you just kind of feel relaxed, you might not know, chemically what's going on, electrically what's going on in your body, but that's what's happening. That is what is happening. So but they have done studies, just being outside, one person has their shoes on, the person next to them does not, and they've checked to see which one is grounded, and the one barefoot is the one that's grounded. They can then hold the hand of the person wearing the tennis shoes, and that person is grounded. So, I mean, it's just mind-blowing, really, what the earth does. Living in Sweden, it's cold outside. Get a grounding mattress. If you really want to make a giant difference, the study that I did at USC, the research paper that I did at USC, what they were testing is they tested 2 different things. They used massage workers who were on their feet all day, but they put them on the whole ground. They put a grounding mat and then the table on top. So they were walking around and being grounded all day. And the second research paper that I looked at was they used a grounding mattress. And so it had to do with the inflammation in the body, and they measured it through the saliva, through cortisol. So fascinating stuff, you guys. It's fascinating stuff. And if you really think about it, it just makes sense. But we never really had to think about it before, because prior to the 60s, we were all one with the earth in terms of our electrical makeup. And I mean, every single part of us, if you think about it, your brain, it's all electrical, right? We're electrical kind of systems in us. Our heart, we're not telling our heart to beat. It's on an electrical kind of thing. So when you're talking about improving your health through grounding, you're talking about every single organ of your body. Come on. Okay, does the mat work as well as the real ground? How do you use it? So you want to make sure that you've got that third, when you do an electrical outlet. I wish I had a picture, but I don't, because I'm outside. It's the bottom little hole. So all outlets are grounded to the earth, because otherwise, you'd get shocked, you'd get electric static in your house, or you'd get lightning that hit your roof. So the grounding mats are made that you plug them into the wall on the lowest outlet, on the bottom hole, and then it connects to the mat, and you stand there or put your feet on there, and that it does magic. The reason why I love to be outside, because I feel that you get more than just the grounding. So as long as you're protected by the sun, to be out in nature, I think, and the sounds and the sights of nature and the feeling of nature decreases my anxiety. So I like just the old school, get outside barefoot. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. What about, Romanian Girl 10 said, what about Jen Amber's Derma Roller? If I had to pick a Derma Roller, Jen Amber's Derma Roller would be the one that I would pick, because when you look at her before and afters, and I think she does it on a banana or some sort of fruit, where you can see her derma rollers, her surgical steels are individual, as opposed to being on a wheel that has a triangular shape. It's still, Romanian Girl 10, not as great as a stamper, but I do have the Jen Amber's derma roller, and I do use it if I'm covering a large area and I'm lazy or I don't have the time. I will use the Jen Amber's derma roller on my abdomen, on the back of my arms, sometimes on my chest, just because I can get a good treatment in like a fraction of the time without having, to bring out the Dr. Pen and the hyaluronic acid and all of that kind of stuff. So that is a derma roller that, if you really want a derma roller, that is the derma roller that I would suggest getting. So, and if you missed that Instagram live on microneedling, where I microneedled my whole face, I urge you to go back and get to that. And you can also, if you get these devices, if you get a derma roller and you're afraid to use it, that's what the one-on-one consultation is, because we'll be Zooming, and side by side, I'll give myself a treatment as I'm walking you through yours. So don't let these products collect dust. Use them. Okay. Can you do some Q&A while you're grounding with you? Yeah, you guys ask me anything. Learning all good stuff from you. Great. Fantastic. I scheduled my one-on-one. Unapologetically, Wendy. Scheduled a one-on-one. Loving it. We're going to get a lot of stuff done. Hey, and you guys, when you schedule the one-on-one, make sure that you answer those questions, right? Because I want to know what are your main concerns? Are your main concerns weight loss? Is it skincare? Is it like you're trying to figure out, how do I start exercising? I need to know all the information. Give me as much as you can. You can also email me separately and just say, here are my problems, and we can start kind of figuring out what the session is going to be prior to actually jumping on the Zoom. So I'm so excited to work with you, unapologetically Wendy, which I love that handle. Sophia said, my one-on-one was better than going to the doctor and the derm. Yes. Okay. I'm so glad. You're the best. You should have more followers, I swear. Well, thank you. You know what? I don't really follow any algorithm. I think if I only did the skincare stuff, if I was always doing something crazy to my face, and just stuck with the one thing, then maybe the algorithm, I'd have more followers, but that's not who I am. I'm not, I'll be 55 in April, but I have a love of learning how to expand that health span and look your best while doing it. And that's not just only skincare, because you can do all the tricks that you want on your skin. Use the best products, do all of the, red light therapy, which I've done a live on, the microneedling, which I've done a live on. You can do all of that stuff. And if you're not eating right, and you're not sleeping right, and you're not getting rid of the free radicals with these health hacks like grounding, you're not gonna look great. So you're not gonna look great, and you're not gonna feel great. And my goal, I really wanna live to be 100, but I don't wanna feel like a typical 100-year-old these days, and I don't want to look like I'm 100. So how do you do that? You attack it from the outside, but you also do it from the inside, and sometimes it doesn't really match any algorithm for social media. But I hope you guys spread the word. I hope if you've got friends that want to look and feel their best for as long as possible, that you're inviting them now so they can kind of see what healthy aging is all about. Okay, moving on. I'm going to keep scrolling. Almost makes me want to have a kid. Sounds nurturing and peaceful. Yeah, I mean, if you have a colicky baby, if you know somebody with a colicky baby, have them try this. Hold the baby next to the skin, any part, like just even the baby's head next to your neck. Have the mom take the shoes off and go outside. Walk around for 30 minutes. Let's see what happens, because that baby is then decreasing inflammation. That baby is then calming down the nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system starts taking over, which reduces the stress. So try it. If nothing else, spread that to, I have been a biological mother of 3, and I have a stepson. Mothering is hard, man. And if you have a mom who's got a colicky baby, if you've learned nothing else from this, help that mom out and say, why don't you try this? Just try it. Okay, moving on. Phil's Droid says, I use a grounding mat when I'm on my stand-up desk. That's absolutely perfect. Yeah, absolutely perfect. Okay, what about Jim? Okay, so now I'm back there. Okay. Thoughts on heliotherapy, or should we avoid the sun? Oh no. Okay, we could talk about the sun. Now, most of America is vitamin D deficient because we're using a lot of sunscreen and we're in the office a lot. But there's a lot of evidence that 10 minutes a day, when it's not high sun, but when it's, when it's sunset or sunrise, 10 minutes a day, as much of your body as you can, is supposed to be good for you. I'm not one that follows that rule. So the sun is the #1 cause of aging. And so I avoid it like Dracula. And I'm pretty okay with that. But I do, when I'm feeling like my vitamin D supplements are not giving me exactly what I want, or I want to use something a little bit more natural, what I do is, this is going to sound crazy, but I use a sun umbrella that blocks out 100% of the sun. So I hold the umbrella and I'll sit outside and I'll put my legs in the sun to get a little bit of vitamin D. But yeah, I do not really, I'm not one that really utilizes the sun for anything. But there is a lot of power. Like, again, if we're talking about the world and the earth and the way that we are supposed to be created, and we're supposed to be created where we're barefoot on the ground and the sun is above our head and we're breathing fresh air. So okay, so tell me something about rosacea. Okay, you know what, that might be great on a one-on-one session, but I can tell you a little bit about it. It does have to do with inflammation. I mean, it's weird to think that, like, can you sit in the grass with your feet in the grass and help rosacea? You actually can. You actually can. I mean, it's going to take a lot of more stuff than that, but you actually can help any sort of skin problem that has to do with inflammation. Rosacea, it can be exacerbated by certain things, by caffeine, but also by skincare products. So if you saw my live that I did on the ultimate skincare routine, I didn't mention rosacea. But if you are suffering from rosacea, you want to back off on the retinoid, you want to back off on the vitamin C, back off on all the skincare, and then let's see what happens. And if your rosacea has calmed down a little bit, you know that those are products that you can't use. And I would switch then from a typical retinoid to a Deferin gel, which is adapalene, which is a 3rd generation of your retinoids. And those are even safe for pregnancy or nursing, and even if you have rosacea. So if you want, I just, let me scroll back up who that was. Oh, there's no way that I would be able to say your handle anyways. But for the lovely person who was asking about rosacea, if you want to do a one-on-one session with me, I urge you to do that. But my gut tells me take you off all the skincare that you have, get your feet in the grass so your inflammation's going down. You need to use very, very mild products, but in the anti-aging field, you still want to be able to use a retinoid. So I would do an adapalene, which is not going to give you the sensitivity that a regular retinoid would do. But we can talk further about that. Do girls love a boy with rosacea? I think that anybody and everybody is lovable. So yeah, I mean, why not? But if it's something that bothers you, then I think that it's something that should be worked on. And it's all about, you know, feeling and looking your best at every age and every stage of life. So if you are new to if you just got on here, just make sure that you hit that little send button right there. You invite your 3 people so that you are in the drawing for the grounding mat. I'm going to recap really quickly here, and then we're going to end up just, oh, thank you. That means a lot. I'm glad that helped. I'm glad that helped. So it's a little bit cold out here, and I've been out here now for, oh my gosh, I want to say over an hour, and I feel fantastic. But I'm going to recap on what grounding is and why everybody should be doing it. So this will give you guys time to invite your 3 people. And I don't know what I'm doing next week, but I think it's going to be something, again, about skincare. I don't know if maybe we'll go into all of the different types of retinoids. We could do something like that. I could also get into intermittent fasting. By the way, for those of you who won the Prolon 5-day fast during my holiday giveaway, I'm starting my fast on Monday. So if you follow my stories, I'm going to be doing a story every day telling you how I'm doing, but I'm doing the 5-day fast mimicking diet, which, yes, you lose weight on this diet, you do, but you're still eating. It's like 500 to 800 packaged calories per day, but the goal is not losing weight. The goal is autophagy, and autophagy is getting rid of all of that damaged cells. So it's like a clean restart, just like grounding is. So intermittent fasting is a biohack. It's a biohack to help you expand that health span. Oh, somebody's from Pakistan. That's so cool. That's really cool. Oh, well, welcome. And I haven't seen you on here before, so really welcome. I hope that you're learning something. I'm just going to recap what grounding is, and then make sure that you invite your 3 people. You'll be in the drawing for the grounding mat, which I will purchase myself with my own money and send to you, because that's how passionate I am about this subject. I'm not an affiliate marketer with any of the grounding mats, but I do know that they work. So that's what's in the drawing for next week. So make sure that you invite your 3 people, and that when I post this to my main feed, that you tag 3 more people. Your name will go in the drawing, and I'll announce it next Sunday at 11. Remember, I'm here every Sunday. Those of you who are new, every Sunday, 11 a.m., we're tackling a healthy aging issue. So a lot of times it's going to be skincare, because that's how I draw the people in. But you'll notice that what I've been doing is, like, even when I did the ultimate skincare routine, when we're talking about vitamin C serum for your face, you can also eat an orange. You can get vitamin C, you can ingest it. You can also apply it topically. When you're dealing with retinoids, retin A, that's an A vitamin. So you can ingest A vitamins that will make your skin better. And you can also apply retin A topically to your skin. So the B vitamins, the niacinamide, right? Niacinamide, which are the dark spot removers, that's a B vitamin. You can also ingest B vitamins. So guess what? The inside, the stuff that you're putting in your body, helps to make your skin better. You can literally eat your way to better skin. But right now, we are grounding, we are utilizing the benefit and the healing power of the earth to decrease inflammation in our body. So I'm just going to explain really quickly how it works again for those of you who are just coming on and new to the channel. Grounding is as simple as getting outside and taking your shoes off. That's it. So in the 1960s, we came up with synthetic material. We started adding rubber to the bottom of all of our shoes, and all of this inflammation started building up in our bodies. When inflammation builds up in our bodies, we have a higher rate of all the age-related diseases, all chronic diseases, weight gain, diabetes, arthritis, cancer, heart disease, everything that you can possibly imagine, even rosacea and eczema, there's inflammation involved in that. So when we're when we're walking around on our rubber-soled shoes, what happens is we have a damaged cell, that white blood cell starts to go and attack that damaged cell, and in the process, electrons are released, which are free radicals. Now, you can eat all the blueberries you want. You can take all the turmeric pills you want. Nothing is going to get rid of those free radicals like stepping on the earth, because that's what it's made for. We are beings of this earth, and that's what we're supposed to do, is utilize all of this. So we've got this health crisis happening right now where all of these diseases have skyrocketed since the 1960s. And that's because we're walking around in tennis shoes. It doesn't take long. It's 30 minutes a day, either on a grounding mat or simply walking outside without your shoes on. Hi, for those of you just coming in, make sure that before I get off here, because I only have like 10 minutes, make sure you invite your 3 people with the little arrow right down there. Invite your 3 people. When I post this to my site, make sure you tag 3 more people. You will be in the drawing for the grounding mat, which I will announce next Sunday. I still haven't decided what my subject's going to be next Sunday. It might be something on skincare. It might be something on nutrition. It might be intermittent fasting, but I am starting that Prolon 5-day fast on Monday for those of you who would like to join me. And if you'd like a link to that Prolon 5-day fast, just direct message me Prolon, and I'll send you the link for that Prolon fast so that maybe we can start it together. So for those of you just joining, make sure that you invite those 3 people and tag 3 people, and your name will go in the drawing. So just quickly, I'm just going to recap what happens when you step your feet, your bare feet, my feet are probably dirty now, onto the earth. So our bodies we're basically electrical creatures. Everything of our body, our brain, our hearts, everything, there's an electrical pulse to us, just like there is the earth. And all of our systems, all of our major organs, even the neurons firing, those are electrical. So the earth is negatively charged. About 60 miles up in the air, that's positively charged. But lightning happens, the earth, the entire earth, negatively charged. We as human beings are slightly positively charged when we have inflammation and free radicals. If we're walking around barefoot outside, we're the same charge as the earth. That those electrons literally uptake through our feet like a sponge, through our feet and our hands, which is why sometimes I'll lean back. I'll put my feet in the grass and I'll lean my hands back in the grass, and in about 30 minutes your entire body, what happens is those free radicals, those electrons that are loose running around that are causing havoc and causing inflammation to rise, the electrons from the earth come up into your body and stabilize those, so your inflammation decreases. And inflammation is the root of all diseases, even rosacea, all of it. Inflammation is a cause of all of it. So if you're outside and you're reducing those cortisol levels, you're reducing that inflammation, you're increasing your health span. And that's the main part of grounding. Just get outside and take your shoes off. So I'm about to stop here, you guys. I thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you guys have learned something. I'm gonna do a poll, I think, on, in a couple days. I'll do a poll asking you guys what you want to talk about next Sunday at 11, because I'm here every Sunday at 11. And I'm going to post this to my main feed right afterwards. So make sure you tag those 3 people. It's been such a great, honestly, relaxing live for me out here at my mom's house, barefoot, having this live with you guys. So I see you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you next week, Sunday, 11 a.m. Mwah! Have a great rest of your day.